Mark. She was sitting there in the dimly lit house, staring forward, hands clasped tightly together against the fabric of her flower-patterned skirt. Mark looked at the clock on the microwave to his right, 2:43 a.m., before looking back at the woman sitting on the couch in his living room. "Hello." She didn't move, nor did she speak, only continued to stare forward, her hands shaking slightly from how tightly they were clasped together. "Who are you?" Mark raised his voice slightly and took a step forward, grabbing a knife from the counter and slipping it into his right pocket. "Miss? Are you okay? Miss?" He had taken a few more steps towards the woman. She still hadn't answered. His heart was pounding. "Miss? Can you answer me, please? Do I need to call someone?" Her head remained still, but her eyes darted in his direction, sending a series of chills running down his entire body. The woman's mouth opened and she started to hyperventilate, her hands twisting in her lap as she maintained eye contact with Mark from the side, mouth and face forward in a way that was more unsettling than anything he'd experienced previously. Please don't call anyone." Her mouth had fallen into a gaping scream, repeating her words over and over again, never breaking eye contact. The back of each of her hands now covered in scratches from the other as she squeezed and scraped them together.
No, 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 no.
She had stood. Mark stepped backwards a couple of steps with the knife slipping into his hand as she did. The woman turned her body towards him, the head never moving, never breaking that sideways eye contact. She spoke again, but this time very softly, still pleading, but her tone had changed significantly. Please don't call anyone, please." Who the fuck are you?" A single eyebrow lowered in an almost angry manner. Mark looked behind him at the microwave clock, 2:43 a.m., then looked back towards the living room. She was gone. The knife was now in his hand. His eyes were darting everywhere in the living room, but she wasn't anywhere to be seen. He hadn't heard her leave, and there were only two ways out of that space, behind him, or through a very squeaky front door that was already shut. He closed his eyes and breathed in deeply for a moment. When he opened them, she was standing right in front of him, a smile sitting on the side of her face as she made that same eye contact looking up at him, hand against his thumping chest. "Oh, Mark, do you not remember what you did?" Mark swung the knife, but she was gone before he reached her, left standing there, alone and confused, her whispers fading gracefully in the background of his loudly beating heart. "Things are going to get a lot worse for you, Mark.